Let's just close
Welcome back
everything down.
everyone to Redstone Quarry Podcast episode 38. This time not ruined by enemies sneezing, but by enemies talking way too early. And
Let's
today,
just continue.
yeah, let's continue with that fabulous intro. Today, as usual, no topic, just news, follow up, we did ourselves this week. But first, editorial bits, as usual, if we have something to talk about, which we do this week.
And before
Niels?
that,
Oh, yeah.
introduction.
Yeah, I guess that's part of it, yeah. So, yeah, I forget, alright.
I forget it every time.
Yes, okay.
Let's write it out again.
Introduction top to bottom.
Hey, it's me, enemy.
Oh,
this is
sir.
the part
We're waiting
where
for
you
someone.
Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Soccer.
Yeah,
Everyone
say
sa-
a little bit about yourself since you're here for the first time, I think.
Well, I play Minecraft with these 4 or 5, well, I guess 4 nice people, and I'm on the conspiracy server playing with Enemy and Niels, not really Wout, but yeah, have a lot of fun playing with them. I do a lot of Java programming and stuff, so I know a lot about the code.
But he didn't know that that Minecraft 1.8 has already been decompiled. for the past
Haha,
7
very
months.
funny. I didn't know 1.8 was Dang it.
I got the tweet pulled up here, dude. Josh posted it on the 30th of September. At the end of September.
Wow. I can't
Oh, well.
believe I didn't know that. I'm
Yeah.
so mad.
I've been living
Also-
under a rock.
Yeah, well, very personal detail about Soccerman575. He also plays soccer.
Dude, why did you have to tell people that? Can we, like, restart and not have to talk about that?
You should choose
So
another name
private.
then.
It's like only your name. So yeah, I don't know who you're talking about though with those 4 nice people because yeah.
One of them is a
enemy-
bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said, oh, wait.
Oh, there wasn't even,
Change
there wasn't
to
even the
5.
dry joke, but it's even better that way. Alright.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, my joke was that, that some people in this podcast are not very nice people. Ooh. Oh well. Now, let's, I guess,
Yeah,
go to the
bot.
chase.
I hate you, bot.
Yes, I hate the bot. Because it's Niels' bot. The reason we have soccer is, I guess, because, well, we haven't gotten that many members on the podcast lately, and we thought it would be nice to have a new semi-member. Like, soccer is still kind of, well, he didn't apply or anything, we just asked him, like, 10 minutes ago, maybe.
Yeah, it's a favor.
Yeah, so, but he was kind of in for it, and, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Like, he doesn't feel like
in the
it's
Steam
super
streak
awkward.
regularly.
Yeah, so,
I'll
I mean,
obviously be a favorite, so it'll go really well.
yeah, also, the reason we actually hired him, like, Tucker is not he doesn't know a lot about technical Minecraft. He's annoying voice and all that kind of stuff, but he's American and we need to do some American appeal, so yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
You can do the American marketing.
Yeah, because we're all Europeans, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
And he came here, so we have a reason why we're recording it this time.
Yeah, Tucker, can you make a song about a bald eagle or something?
Political?
Oh, a bald eagle.
Oh, a bald eagle. Well, today I woke up at 7:20 in the morning, which is terrible for a weekend, but it was because I had so many bald eagles outside and they just wanted meat, so I had to go to my refrigerator and fry them up a steak, deep fry it like we do in the South, and I had to throw it out the window and feed it to them.
And then,
And then the police shot the black one.
Oh my god. I did ask very political, but that turned out better than I expected.
It's the same. It reminds me of Madagascar. There's one scene where a little chicken is coming out of the water, and then a crocodile. Hop.
But was the chicken black? Oh well.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh well, that's I guess a bit of criticizing current politics. Oh well. So, yeah, with that out of the way, I guess we can move on. Comments from this week, so follow up. And yes, this
Hey,
time enemy edit in
who-
right order. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yay!
Right order. And I didn't
Um,
even write it down.
Yeah, I just did it. I'm so good at this.
Podcast from this week first.
Yeah, so we have 5 comments. First comment, Redstone Quarry, shares this via Google+. Google+. Second comment, Redstone Quarry, episode 12 of TRQ is online. Thanks
Really?
for telling us
Did
that,
they share
Niels.
twice?
Can we like
Yes.
only use
One of them-
comments, please?
And then
One of
the-
them. I thought it was on my account.
It only shows like 3 comments for me. Oh, no.
Actually, no, there are 5. So, the fourth comment is comment by Macro McComb, also known as Spock, who is for some reason commenting on the podcast rather than being inside of it. And he says, "Nice!" An exclamation mark, nerdy style. And then Dr. Spoosh responds, damn it, exclamation mark, nice, but then the other way around, like reversed.
I think we should
Right.
stick to the ones that are kind of relevant.
Yeah, so there's one relevant comment, which is Spock again saying, "No!" I mean, no. Spock Oak saplings. Bad. Use bats. And that was reference to Nerdy, by the way. But, yeah,
that's
so...
basically.
We have a reason why we use them, because those bottom blocks, we cannot remove them with the bats. It's impossible.
In the background footage for last week, we broke bedrock at Y125, just to make a trench where we put clocks for our collection system for our sugarcane farming, and we can't use beds there for the lower blocks because you need a block of dirt to put the grass on, and that's why we use trees. So
It was a pain to break all of that.
yeah,
Okay.
it took like forever. It took like, I don't know, 2 days.
1 weekend day and 2 weekdays in the
Yeah.
evening. Way too long.
Well, also one reason, Spock, you definitely shouldn't break bedrock with bats. Because it's bedrock. You're just using bats to break bats. It doesn't work.
Mhm.
Oh well.
Well, it works, but not in
The
this case.
advantage of breaking bedrock in overworld with bats is it cannot blow up.
Yeah, that's also a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so... And those are the comments from last week. However, there's also comments, apparently, anime artists, luckily, from episode 11, which is pretty cool because, well, it's kind of harder to keep track of all these comments on all different episodes, but anime, you learned this, so I guess we can talk about it.
Basically, Myron Ero again, well, yeah, again, I guess, he commented before, is referring to when we talked about problems of the Quarry, where we were talking about not movable blocks and how you could quote-unquote easily remove them with Wither Skulls. And he points out that you need to use the blue Wither Skulls, and it is much more problematic because you cannot catch them easily. I guess I can just read this comment because it's really good. Using blue Wither Skulls to break obsidian is much more problematic. You don't need a normal Wither Skull to need blue Wither Skulls. But it's relatively easy to catch a black normal Wither Skull. Blue Wither Skulls are shot in completely random directions with slightly random timings. And Wither cages where the Wither shoots blue Wither Skulls are almost always unstable. Because the whole point of a Wither cage is normally to prevent the Wither from shooting blue Wither Skulls. This isn't anywhere near as easy as catching a gas ball. So yeah. Also, unlike gas balls, Wither Skulls can't be pushed around by pistons normally. You can launch them with slime blocks, but they aren't affected by normal piston movement, tested in 183. So, especially the last part, I wasn't aware of. Like, last time I knew you could just push them like normal gas balls, for example, but apparently you cannot anymore, or...
Yeah, I
you
actually know that either, but, well, I guess
You
that's so.
It's not really something you do a lot because, like you said, it's hard to catch them. So, the only way to figure out you can or cannot move them is if you're going to try in creative. But in creative, you don't really have a use for them. So
I really like this comment because it's really clear what he means, and
Yeah, it's I actually never thought of
it's
this.
really good comment.
Because I actually
Cookie.
also thought of using blue Wither Skulls to basically like pinpoint remove some blocks from a far distance without having to come close to the chunks, but yeah, that becomes actually becomes a whole lot more problematic now because gas fireballs and black Wither Skulls just don't yeah, they don't deal as much damage. I don't think they break most block. Like, you can build a Buddha cage out of most stuff, right? Without the black skulls affecting much, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. All those
Yeah,
blocks
like-
can't be broken with black skulls, so...
Only the simple stuff like dirt can be broken.
Yeah, wood, for example, or I think stone works as well. But obsidian definitely doesn't. So
And
I
the
don't know about
default
stone, actually.
and the default
Only-
building block iron is also
Hmm.
yeah, I'm
Possible.
not sure about stone either. Like probably not. Maybe it's only block 36 and then it works.
Well, to be honest, I haven't really thought of it, but the blue skull, like blue skulls and black skulls, do they also like slow down in lazy chunks like gas fireballs do?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so
That's why I said you could catch them. But of course, with the blue skulls, it's way harder because they're going completely random directions. So
well, yes, but it's still possible, right?
yeah, you couldn't just automate it like the gas fireball because the gas fireball, you know in which direction it's going, then you can unload accordingly. And with the blue wither skulls, you kind of have to
well,
have
with
to
the-
get lucky to get one in the direction you want and then actually catch it.
yeah, well, with the blue skull, I guess you can just have a wither and AFK for a while and put. I would try to put him in like a cage with using a cobblestone, right? So basically use cobblestone generators to keep the cage stable with a couple of like one line or of 3 blocks maybe open, and then like maybe 32 blocks further on or something you have yeah, the catcher, I guess, which is just open space. Wouldn't that work? If you have like low run distance, of course.
In theory would work, but like the amount of skulls that actually fly that direction you cannot control. So yeah.
Well, the amount. The thing is just that they stop once they go into late chunks, right? Well, they slow down until they stop, right?
Yeah, they will, but they could go in any direction. So
Yes, but
the
that would-
chance at some point you will get one, but
yeah, if you do that for a night, I'm pretty like, don't they shoot a blue with a skull like every couple of seconds or something?
and I think they shoot blue skulls when they have no target and are
Yes.
trapped or something.
when they have no target, and then they will just start firing blue wither skulls, even if you don't punch them.
We just have to make
like
sure
the
he
blue
doesn't
wither
target the
skulls are
player.
basically
Then,
the blockbusters.
we just have to make sure that he doesn't target the player, right? Or
Yeah, he should not target a player because then he won't shoot. Yeah, then he will shoot the black
Well-
ones. But still, if you want to catch the blue ones, even if you stay overnight, then he will do lots of blue skulls in the wrong direction, and they will hit the wall eventually. So
yeah, of course, you
it's
you have to use a cobblestone wall which he generates, which
Mhm.
definitely will be quite complex, but it's possible.
a long time ago, I saw something with cobblestone generators that generates a castle, and if you fire the TNT cannons, then it will regrow the castle, and it's possible to do lots of those cobblestone generators, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
they'll
big, and it can
Definitely
get
takes a fair
laggy
bit
if
of
you do.
effort.
Yeah,
And you would have to make sure they're all hooked up to pretty like each block maybe should be like double powered to make sure you never run
Yeah.
out of cobble. Or I guess you could make also like 2 deep walls or something would work.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
the soccer right now is looking up some stuff about randomization. I would
Oh.
think that they should just pick 2 random angles for that.
Well, the way that they're doing it is they're not actually picking 2 random angles. They're picking a random coordinate. So
And
they
they-
have a method called Wither Skull 2 chords, and you input some
Coordinates
You
and convert it
input-
to angles or what?
It looks like what it's doing is it's calling that in the update AI method. Let's see. And what it's doing is it's picking a few random doubles to do it. And then it just calculates angles to fire the wither. But the way that Minecraft does it is it doesn't actually like calculate the angles. It just says here's a motion in a direction. It just
Oh,
keeps that
yeah.
motion constant. That's how Minecraft works.
I guess that
anyway.
works. So it basically picks 3 coordinates from a uniform distribution then, right?
Yeah, and then it
Yeah.
it has some other
Wouldn't
stuff
it
in there. I'm trying to figure it out.
more easy to just pick the random kitchen jar for the direction
Yes,
of
but
the.
I think it will actually give a different result. I don't know. We have to have a mathematician look at that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd figure it out if you gave me a lot of time.
We'll post an application form if you're a mathematician and do that.
Oh, well,
You could
John.
just post your thing in the comment.
Yeah.
Tell us
Yeah,
what it
it's
would
easier, I
change.
think.
Myron, if you're listening, and criticize us again that we're completely wrong.
Yeah, we
Right.
probably just messed something up completely in there.
Well, about the pistons not
Right.
moving it, does that mean that you can only move them with slime blocks?
The blue skulls or
Yeah.
the wither skulls. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I have no clue. Like, if you move them with slime balls, you will shoot them actually, right?
And blocks.
But there's a slime ball, seriously.
Yes.
No, like when you hit them with slime blocks, you will shoot them. You will launch them. So you can launch them, but you cannot really move them with pistons. That's what I got from it.
But to be honest, I think it actually works out equally or even better because moving them with pistons is quite tiresome. You have to place new pistons for every block, right? Whereas if you use motion, you can just have one slime block and then stop it again by having it go into another chunks, and then
Yeah.
Well,
but
slime block
then we get the whole problem. Like that's even harder to navigate in a three-dimensional space to get to the point where your block is that you actually want to destroy, right?
well, yeah, like I wouldn't
have
say
to
this isn't
load
like
and
stuff the Quarry could automate easily because you need players to load chunks. But like, I'm kind of thinking of my application where I would have far off blocks which I have to destroy at all costs while not getting close to generate the chunks or something. So yeah, where this would be quite useful
Having to
You
load
want to
and
destroy
unload
blocks
chunks.
without generating the chunk first?
without like coming too close. Basically, it has to do with population and such.
Yeah, but you cannot.
You can
Because you-
because
No, like the thing won't explode, right? Entities don't get hit on an unloaded chunk.
actually you have quite a kind of point there. Damn it. I'm an idiot. I have to think about it. Yeah, you're probably right. Because I think about it. Well, soccer. Wait, you already said something, damn it.
Yes.
You need to say more stuff.
Okay. Well, this is Minecraft, and I'm reading other things too. But I was reading up on the Titan X, and I was just thinking, do you think Minecraft's ever going to provide more optimization for graphics cards? If they do, what will they optimize? Since a lot of Minecraft is physics-based.
Well,
That's what I was thinking.
problem with that question is that you are the only real programmer in here, and we're all Minecraft technical nerds. So you can answer that question.
I would really like for them to use multi-threading at some point, so I can actually use my really nice fancy CPU and so on.
But didn't they already work on chunk multi-threading in July?
Yeah,
They-
it's one of those
yeah.
1.8 features. It's like the new minecart mechanic and so on. Never
Well,
really happened.
The way that they've done the actual multi-threading optimizations is it actually is quite hard to do multi-threaded optimization with Java. But if you want to optimize it, you've got to have inner communication between the threads, which is sometimes kind of inefficient. And the way that Mojang kind of programs that, I think they probably did it a bit inefficiently, although I haven't had time to look at the code and figure that. But if they have done communication between the threads efficiently, then Minecraft in general should actually get a huge performance boost. However, I don't think they have, seeing as with 1.8, the performance went way down, even though they were supposed to provide optimizations.
Yeah, but then it's always like that. They do optimizations and then it's not really optimized because they add way too laggy stuff after that again.
Well, then
Optimized
again,
for
they
one
did-
snapshot and then it's getting slower again.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't optimize everything. But I don't get the isn't the whole point of threads to like minimize the communicate? Like, if that's communication, then possibly like CPU has to wait very long until the other thread is done, right?
Well, the way that the multi-threading works with just general games is whenever you originally lay out the game, you have to have some way that you know, okay, I want this thread to be, well, I want this thread to be working on this portion of the CPU, and I want it to be calculating this area. The problem is you have some people that have 1-core CPUs, and you have some people that have 16 logical core CPUs, so people with like the X editions. But it's hard to provide optimization if you don't start from the beginning and actually program each individual thread how you would, and then just combine those for 1-core, or separate them all out for a 16-core. But at some point, you're not really going to get a performance boost from adding extra threads, because there's not enough calculations to do in a single tick, if that makes sense.
I guess it kind of does. I'm surprised you have to specify all that stuff in Java, though. Like,
well, Java's not really good for specifying which CPU does which thread. The way that they've done threads in Java is they basically just add kind of a separate thing to the same process. So it just makes it where you're doing 2 separate calculations in the same core of your computer at the same time. At least with the threads that I've done. I've never really done any complicated threading. I'm sure somebody will correct some of the stuff that I'm saying too, because I could be saying some wrong stuff. I don't really know.
Yeah.
well, I never did it either. I just learned a bit about it last semester on the theoretical side, so that's it.
Yeah,
Cool.
but the reason that the original snapshots may have been so much better than the later on snapshots is because originally they laid it out pretty efficiently. You know, it communicated nice between them, but then they had to provide bug fixes. And something in those bug fixes, the way that they've done it, is it slowed down the communication between the 2 threads, so it made it harder for it to actually push out all the frames that you actually needed, and it was actually doing more behind the scenes calculations.
And so you're saying it could be possible that because of their removing a bug that is really useful, the frames get worse.
Well, for example, you remember how we had the problem where if you look away from a beacon, right, then the beacon beam would go away. Well,
Yeah.
whenever they fixed that bug, they had to provide something that's scanning the area around you still to say if that's a beacon, keep it there. And what ends up happening is if you're keeping stuff there, then you're still having to scan that area to make sure that it's still there. So
You have to
it
just
kind of
scan more
unoptimizes.
stuff, so all takes
Yeah.
up processor power.
Wait, it's not
Yeah.
like they actually removed the section rendering aspect, right?
Well, they removed rendering like complex blocks or whatever. The way that they unrender the beacons, I don't really know, but the way that they have
As
it
far as
rendering them now is inefficient.
Well, as far as I know, well, I know another thing which was changed in 1.8, which would definitely explain it, which is just that the rendering, not loading but rendering on the client side is now, I think, section based and not chunk based. As a result, if a beacon on the ground or something and you can't see, well, you wouldn't be able to see it from your current angle, I think, then you download. Actually, no, you don't even have to see it from your current angle. It just has to be blocked by a wall or something. But yeah, it does some raycasting, I think, to check that. I actually have you can test this on your own test worlds. It's not that hard. Just like place a wall, and on both sides of the wall you put a command block which teleports you. And if you make sure that you can't see the sections, that like everything in front of you looks identical in a flatland world or something, but you can't see the section next to you in which you have the other command block. And if you keep teleport back and forth between those, you will see some kind of white flash between. Well, like it's not happening smoothly, not smooth basically. So yeah, that's actually quite unfortunate, really. But yeah, it's part of 1.8 because it makes things a little bit less laggy, I think.
Well, I think another thing is, I don't know if you guys remember, but whenever they first released the update that they provided the quote-unquote optimizations, Dinnerbone released a blog post or something talking about how they actually came to the solutions that they did come to. Well, when they came to those solutions, they actually used the optimizations that they used in their mobile edition. So those optimizations might have worked well for mobile, but perhaps they would have done better if they had just completely rewritten it for the computer edition, because the mobile edition was written specifically to be more efficient whenever they started, and it's also not Java based since it's mobile. So you can't really do the same optimizations with mobile as you can with Java. Or, well, maybe you can, and I've just not figured it out yet.
Well, I guess
From what I know from the optimizations they carried over, it's like something. It's optimizing for the lack of hardware on a phone. So basically, you cannot like I don't know. I think it was something with frame buffer or whatever. Something that direction.
Yeah.
And where they just optimize it in that direction, and it like basically on a computer no one cares because you have like tons and tons of frame buffer and so on, and it just like helps like really old laptops basically.
I know.
So that's why a lot of us didn't notice any big improvements to 1.8 from 1.7, at least in that snapshot, and other people like were affected. Oh, I have 800 frames now. Then I look down and don't move. But yeah.
So, yeah, I'm reading up on it a little bit right now. Another thing is that they use OpenGL, which kind of makes it hard. I'm not really sure how it makes it a little bit harder, but usually your GPU will lag 1 to 3 frames behind what your CPU is doing because it has to communicate between the two. So if, for example, your CPU stalls a little bit, but your GPU's behind still, then the GPU stalls while the CPU catches up, and that causes frame lag, and that's what's happening. Also, NVIDIA's driver optimizations don't really help sometimes. But with AMD the way that AMD does their graphics card is just a bit different from the way that NVIDIA does it, where NVIDIA has CUDA and AMD has stream processors that make
What's the difference?
Yeah. Well, it's not that it's completely different. They're basically the same thing. They just load up on the APUs on the graphics card.
It's another name.
It's kind of another name, and they kind of communicate differently with the CPU and the PCI Express, just in general, the way it connects to the motherboard.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they intercommunicate with the memory on the card itself.
Mm-hmm. That can be the same. All want their own fancy names and fancy version of it, something.
I think we should go on to the news, I guess.
Sure.
That's good.
I mean, we kind of covered the comments thoroughly. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with just side discussion in my opinion, but it's kind of running out now, and it would also be nice to talk about the other stuff. That's all. So, news. Who starts? Soccer, we need more American tales. Go ahead.
More American stuff?
Yes.
Well, we've had a lot of talk about... Wait, do you want, like,
Minecraft
stereotypical
news,
American stuff?
It has to be Minecraft news, and it has to be very stereotypically American if you want to increase the appeal.
Well, we find out today that there's no law in Minecraft against gay people marrying, so...
Okay.
Okay.
We're kind of outlawing Minecraft down south, you know.
Okay. Yes, that's fully politically neutral. I thought.
But wasn't there like a couple of weeks ago, or like maybe a month by now, where they wanted to ban Minecraft in Turkey or something because of some stupid thing like that? But like they said like it made kids violent or something.
Turkey was investigating Minecraft for being
Turkey
too violent.
Ministry to investigate Minecraft violence, indeed.
Yeah, but like you have to remember they also banned YouTube because like people were using YouTube.
Yeah, but that's like just the oppressive government these days, really. Although like oppressive. It's democratic, so that's a bit of a subject for discussion, but it's definitely not fitting our values of like censorship and stuff.
Yeah. I guess going back to a bit more interesting news.
Although we talked about politics, there's gonna be a shitstorm down in the comments. Yeah.
And we had a racist American.
Oh my god,
Let's
maybe
just
it's
move
racist.
on.
I bet this is gonna get a lot of views.
There's this really interesting thing RedstoneHelper did in survival actually, and basically he made a train on a map in survival. It's like the Reddit post is what it's called. And the interesting thing about it is he made a tool, I guess a filter, but he didn't specify, that takes this image and converts it into a schematic, and then he just rebuilt it in survival, and it actually looks really,
Just so
really good.
everyone knows, it's not a train, it's a picture of a train.
Yeah, it's a picture on a train on a map. So, but like if he uses the different height levels and everything, it looks really, really good. Let me see if I can show you that picture somewhere.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah, it uses the height levels a lot. We will of course link it in the show notes.
Because otherwise, picture is not really good for a podcast. With sound.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting and
No.
worth to mention. Any of you know RedstoneHelper?
I think he
I see
followed me
him
lately and has been. Oh, never mind, that doesn't sign assignment. There was someone with that in his name who constantly favors me these days. Oh my god.
He's in the Zipcard AFK channel sometimes.
He's
he
also
worked on the
moderator on
parental
the
rights.
r/Minecraft. So.
Well, now, soccer. Did you actually really have any videos you watched this week and want to talk about?
Minecraft videos?
Yes.
Well,
No, this is
I
a cooking
watched-
podcast, so cooking videos.
It's Cooking with Wout. That's the new name of the podcast.
Cooking with Etho.
Oh, we want to talk about that.
We already discussed
Yeah,
that
that's
actually
what
last
I
week.
was about to talk
didn't we?
about. Etho and Doc changing over to Hermitcraft.
Ooh.
Who
Big
cares?
topic.
Hands up.
It's like
And
I
on
really
to the
like-
next
cares?
topic.
I don't like a Twitter storm about it. Twitter, damn it. Yeah. Oh well, so yeah. I listened to Doc for a bit. It looks like he's still. Well, he's on video. He says that he still would be okay to get back to like to do stuff with Minecraft again. But yeah, of course, it kind of depends on the other members. And I guess for now, at least, a temporary solution, maybe permanent, would be to do SMP on another server with a couple of Mindcrackers and just start playing there. So I guess that's how that will go.
Playing on two different servers, I've seen that Generic Beef once did it because he was first
yeah.
on Hermitcraft and then he got invited to Minecraft, and after a while he didn't play on Hermitcraft because
Well, it worked for a while, in my opinion. Like, those were the good, like the good old days, like Hermitcraft 1 with Xizuma and Bifa's Bowl. And
but after
agency.
Generic B, after a while he stopped with Hermitcraft.
yeah, but like
because
that took a
doing
while.
two at the same time is not. It's
but
hard. So
I mean, it lasted for well over a year, in my opinion. So I don't know, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah, it's a long time ago. I can't remember.
to be honest, I like those like those days with the constant like the agency versus the rest of the server, and you have the B team stepping in to take them out, and the Goose Squad, and yeah. But unfortunately, like
I do know that Cube joined.
yeah, Cube
while,
joined
and-
for a bit actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
tree
did
farm, and
this
I
tree.
was thinking this tree farm was awesome. Once I went to build it inside of this mountain here, but yeah, then the map got reset and never built it.
Well, do you mean on Hermitcraft?
And yeah, he made that one tree farm over
Yeah,
there.
but he did finish it in the end, I think.
Yeah, but I thought I was
Oh,
thinking
you thought, okay.
that I should make it as well in my world, but never came to that.
Okay, yeah.
I think the switch from Doc and Evo was like not really a surprise. Like Minecraft, there hasn't been really any activity in recent history, I guess.
Yeah, some players still
yeah,
play on
like,
it, but
But yeah,
More active than Reflex.
it just seems kind of the obvious way to go, that they switch over to a server. There's actually a lot of LPs who actually are really active and so on.
Yeah, and also Hermitcraft I would say like back in the like Pyramid Craft 1 was about as technical focused as like Minecraft, but now it's definitely with like Impulse, Tango, all those people. It's definitely very technical. So that's
don't
why
remember.
With Doc joining.
yeah.
I
So
think
yeah,
it
that's
was
why
like,
those people also came over, I suppose.
I think it was Efo, and like in his introduction, he was talking about like, yeah, there's so many technical people in here, like Impulse and Mambo, and I was like, what?
What? You don't like my? Well, I have to. See, I don't know.
I
Right.
really hope that like now the dog is on, he will call out Mambo on like all his hoppers that are not covered and so on.
Yeah.
Well,
Would be-
I
would
mean,
be a
it's
lot of fun.
it's just lag. So I know Zipcard always does it, but I'm just like, oh come on, do it.
I always do it. It's just,
Most people don't have
it's
1,000
just
toppers
lag.
loaded.
it's not that much. It's just a dropper. Those are not expensive. Otherwise, you should dig a hole and get some cobblestone.
Definitely make a use
You
of
could do
furnace
a
for that, right?
furnace too,
No,
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
first have tile ticks.
And
for furnace.
droppers, you save 1 piece of cobblestone.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you need redstone.
droppers are
so-
cheaper.
And I don't
Yeah,
have a witch
redstone
farm
is-
yet.
It's free.
I don't have a witch farm yet.
And then,
Though I have to admit that we do have a fair bit. Like, I spent tons of time mining.
how
on
do you get
Reflex,
your
so-
redstone then?
Fortuning redstone. Like, I need to go in the grind for
What?
diamonds anyway. Like, let me just check for a
What?
second.
How do you do that?
Forging redstone.
You need to
like
do
an animal.
diamonds? You don't
Yes, I
have
need to-
villagers for
Okay, I'm
that?
gonna check for 1.8. We started in one.
Don't you have a
100
villager
snapshots.
spreadsheet?
Okay, jeez. Okay, I got it pulled
Yeah,
up
Neil,
right
actually,
here.
how is it going along? Do you have the template already and so on?
They didn't do anything to that this week.
Okay.
Actually, I was wrong. Apparently, I have been silk touching everything lately. So, right now I'm just checking my chests. I have 20 diamonds, like form you can use. Also, like full diamond armor, of course, diamond tools, kind of stuff. I have 4 stacks of redstone blocks,
How many diamond ore?
56, and 5 stacks and 48 redstone ore.
56 stacks or double chests?
56 just diamond ore.
Oh,
I have
Oh,
2 stacks
well,
of diamond ore.
That's like
And
two-
I
that's-
don't even go mining for diamonds. It's what I found after digging a hole in the ground.
2 stacks of diamond ore from one hole. That was a big
No,
hole.
not one, multiple.
Yeah.
All the thing. In the
Well-
beginning, the first night on the server, I did some mining and I found some diamonds, but other than
Well,
that,
yeah, just have
I
a pretty
haven't
big
been-
shaft mine as
I
well,
haven't
yeah.
caved. I didn't mine anything.
Like I'm going down right now and yeah, this is pretty huge. Let me just check this for a second. Okay, so first shaft is at 99.
Oh, Wout checks that.
What?
Let's provide stupid jokes.
Alright.
no, we can actually quickly talk about something that Mojang announced, quote unquote, this week. Basically, there was a tweet from Jeb where he hinted a new block type that they are working on. So obviously he's not doing any work again. What a surprise!
Well, that
and-
depends. Maybe yes.
Well, like from what he said in the tweet, I don't have it here, so can't say what it exactly it said. But like he saw he linked a picture on Reddit. It's basically a prismarine path with and birch planks.
Wait, the path blocks?
No, like this Reddit post made me happy about new block type we are working on for 1.9, and it's like. Yeah, a picture of a pathway with prismarine and birch and sandstone and some lamps. But yeah, they're making new block type. Who knows what it is?
Hopefully, it's something you can farm.
Everybody
Yeah.
ready for the path blocks?
I heard about that. I heard about that on like the shocking interview with Mojang. Like, what's the path block?
Oh my
I think we
God.
talked about it in the podcast, like
Yeah.
when we did the 1.9 mega thread thing, but we skipped over it really briefly. It's basically something like dirt but a little bit lower, so it's probably height of soul sand, I guess.
Could be
It's
useful.
15/16 of a block.
Okay, I just checked. We have 39 shafts, one on each side, so that's 78. Each shaft is 100 blocks long, so Niels, we have covered 7.8k shafts in length. So you can make of that what you will with the volume, but we space them
Why
out.
do you make shafts?
You grab a
You
pick
make a
and you dig
quarry, not shafts.
them. It's a lot more efficient if you want ores. If I did a quarry, I would probably be at like 1 stack of redstone ore.
Yeah.
And now I have
Quarry is
now
better
we have
than
almost
than
6.
shaft.
I can probably turn these into like, I don't know. What we could turn into them, like 10 stacks maybe of diamond redstone blocks. I don't know. I'm just skipping them for now because I don't need them, but I will. Yeah.
That's some
We
bugs I
could
said
talk
you.
about how they're helping Minecraft be more available to deaf people, including
They did?
captions.
I didn't
yeah,
hear about
That's
that.
what they're planning for 1.9. They're also including captions for
I
like
feel like that's a
sounds and stuff.
Microsoft move, to be honest, to
No,
get some good PR, but it's okay. You can't never have objections
actually,
against, of course.
the tweet for that came from Didderbone, and he's he's at GDC, the Game Developers Conference, and
Mhm.
apparently he's was in a talk for accessibility, and he said he will add captions to Minecraft. So,
Oh,
for example,
okay.
creeper hissing, like so people know that can't hear
That
it.
could be useful.
I hope
Or
it's
have
an
the
option though,
sounds
because
along.
I rather
Right.
don't have text appearing if I don't want it.
Yeah, of course
Mhm.
it will be an option.
Well, I'm sure
Yeah.
it'll be toggleable.
Yeah.
Toggle.
Hopefully
That's
it's not
hard word
like
to say.
YouTube captions, because sometimes it just turns itself on.
Oh
I
no,
don't want
YouTube
this.
captions. Yeah.
Like every time you switch the version, not only clouds but also captions are on now.
Oh no. Clouds, music being on, that sucks. Yeah. Oh well.
And some other news. I think it was from Crush Pixel. He did a kind of theory craft about creepers and how much TNT they have. And
More like
one
a game
thing.
theory than red.
Hmm?
More like a game theory than red.
Yeah, something like that.
Hmm?
No, I can look it up because my internet is doing. Yeah,
I didn't watch it, but I did
it's
see
on,
the video.
but it's also off. I can't open any new web pages, but TeamSpeak I still have it open, so it works. I don't know what causes that, but yeah, I can't look it up now. So yeah, maybe one of you can look it up.
Well, I'm not gonna watch the video right now, but
And
Yeah, it's
One-
basically he's looking at the size of the creeper and the explosion power and how much gunpowder must be in there and so on. It's
And the-
yeah.
yeah, about the size of creeper, yes, it's
Obviously,
wonderful.
1 to 2.
Size, yeah, it's this much pixels, and yeah, that's in 0.75 meters, and yeah, the rest you should watch yourself.
I could look in the code, because whenever the creeper explodes, it just calls and explodes.
Yeah, no, his is like not really depending on any code thing. It's just like
Yeah,
it's
I
this
know.
big and explosion radius is like 3 or 4 or something. And that's
It
why
is
the test
3,
is
according to
just-
the code.
yeah, and TNT is 4. Something like yeah, you can watch it. It's not that well, it doesn't contain any real information about the game, so
But the size of the creeper, that part you should listen.
okay.
He has a fair
Uh,
point.
Also, talking about sizes of mobs, Panda made an update video for how to kill a wither in 3 seconds. 1.8
oh, yeah,
edition.
that's
Mhm.
actually one of the videos I also want to talk about. But yeah.
Okay, what do you want to say about it?
Oh well, not much really. It was just one of the technical videos from this week.
Yeah,
Well, it's nice to see Panda back, of course, but
yeah. It's basically where he's showing off that you still can use the bedrock formation to trap the wither and kill it in there. And it's still the same thing, and now you can spawn the wither sideways in 1.8 and you don't need the piston anymore. And there's this bug when you shoot an arrow in a piston in a weird way, the wither entities will just fall through the piston when you extend it. Right?
Yeah,
Was it
the
how it
hitbox
works?
is different then.
Yeah. And that's why you shouldn't use a piston. And yeah, now in 1.8 you can spawn it sideways and it will always spawn where the lower soul sand block, like from the T, the lower block, that is where the feet of the wither will spawn. And he also says that the the height of the villa is now changed. Not 4 blocks high, it's 3.5 now, but the rest is still the same. So if you didn't know that, that's cool information for you. Apart
This
from
video
that,
where I see that you can spawn them in all directions.
yeah, he shows. Apart from that, I don't think it's any real anything new compared to the old one, right?
No. Still
I don't
fast
think so,
killing.
no. Yeah, I guess you have the side wasting.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think we covered that in enough detail.
Alright.
Yeah, so I think if no one has anything else, we can come to the big stuff, quote unquote.
Which is?
Witch farms.
Ah, Jesus Christ, survival again. I'm out.
I think, what was it, Monday, Tuesday, something like that? Fire released a new witch farm design, which does not only have really cool shifting floors, but also something else which really amazed me because no one else thought of it before. And that is different spawning floors. And well, it's not completely different, but instead of using just normal blocks like redstone blocks for the whole spawning floor, he alternates 1 row redstone blocks and then 1 row soul sand. And the reasoning behind that is pretty genius, because sometimes you have the problem when a witch spawns and like another witch from shifting floor on top falls on it, it moves and is between 2 blocks, and then it will take a long time till it falls off, or possibly never falls off, because the shifting floors are not in sync anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what he does is, by having the soul sand on the row next to it, which will fall through the redstone blocks when they shift, and then it will fall on top of the soul sand and be inside the redstone blocks, and when the soul sand shifts, it falls completely through. So you basically, I guess, almost eliminate the problem where it gets stuck, which is really cool, and even more helpful for farms that have slower shifting floors, which don't react that fast and which just can actually move and walk around. So for those farms, it would be really useful.
Why don't you make a faster farm then?
Yeah, slow farms are for peasants.
Well, actually, his farm is actually really fast.
Yes,
That's
so
another part. His
why
shifting
would you?
floor is
Yeah,
really
I will take this slow design, but use his floors and.
no, like the floors you can basically use for every shifting
Yeah, I
floor.
know, but why would you use those floors on a slow design if you're already taking them out or just start to make a farm? Why don't you make the faster one?
Well, if you have a slow farm, like a slow shifting floor, and you don't want to rip the whole shifting floor out, you can just replace part of the spawning pad with the soul sand, which doesn't take long, and you get easy improvement. But of course, the big part is the better shifting floors, and what he has for a shifting floor is instant shifting, like no delay till it shifts, which is better compared to micros and Chelsea's 1.8 shifting floors, which were, I think, 1 and 2 ticks delay till it shifts, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's small, not as big as those slam block mega contraptions.
Oh yeah, Tiger's RC or MC. Yeah, RC, I think it was. Tiger's RC was also instant, but it was way bigger and not as cool, I guess. And in a completely different approach, the SideCraft guys do. I think on the same day or the day before, Sharia from SideCraft, Sharia 1701, I think is full name, uploaded a video on his shifting floor, and I think that's the one Micro teasered a while back in another episode, right? We had a teaser that was basically the previous version of what he showed, and his approach, like, he doesn't have the cool spawning floors, but that applies to every farm, so you could use it with his farm as well. But what he did, he also has the instant shift with budding the pistons that push, and like he has one extended, and as soon as tripped by activate, that instantly retracts because the block that's powering it gets moved, and the other piston is already in a powered position, and then instantly pushes, and then of course pushes back because it's a shifting floor. But what they did, they have a really fast clock, and then they had this super long discussion in Spire's comments on what is actually better, because Spire has a slower clock, and they have a really fast clock because they want to get the witch out of the system really fast. But the problem with that is, if you have a faster clock, you have more block 36 in your farm, right? Because the floors are shifting more.
With a slower clock, you have the one will stay longer, but while shifting it, there are sometimes a moment of where the floors are not moving and more stuff can spawn, and that's why it's efficient.
Yeah,
You mean that?
basically, when you're not shifting as fast, you have more time for the witches to spawn, like in between shifts, and yeah, but that's basically better because you have a mob cap of 70, 80, something like that, and in your witch, if you have one hut or even two huts, you won't get a problem then by having like one witch. They're a bit longer, so yeah. He also changed his description. I noticed today when I looked up the video again, where he actually says that he had the discussion with Spire, and they came to the conclusion that this is not the optimal way to go, and he will upload a better video, a better design really soon. And this design basically should be ignored.
Why do we talk about it then?
Because
Enemy is a rebel. He doesn't like to follow orders.
No, because it's a really interesting approach that you just make a really fast clock. Like I really like the different approaches there, and yeah. But yeah, if you basically now want to build a witch farm in 1.8, I would go with Spire's design. Not only because it has the fastest shifting floor and the really cool spawning floors. No, that's the two reasons basically. And it's from Spire. Like Spire always does the coolest things. So
Spire is so cool. Please up to us, Spire. We love you. I didn't say that.
No, I'm really interested how Sharia and the other guys who helped with that will change it up. I kind of hope that Micro will be here because he knows the guys a bit better and probably knows what's going on there. But
yes, I hope he will be here.
Something else.
Just kidding.
Can we move on?
Yes, I guess.
Something else. I made a Twitter account for the podcast.
Oh yes, Reds.
That should have been in the editorial part, I guess.
Yeah, but I forgot. And now, oh yeah, damn.
You know the style of our podcast is just don't get stuff in the right segment. So yeah, I think it's good.
I may get it.
That's an unspoken rule. Like we always do it somehow out of order.
Yeah.
It's at TRQ podcast on Twitter. It's I don't know what when a new video comes out, we'll post it on there and other interesting stuff. I think.
Lots of interesting stuff.
I guess if you want to ask us something, you can.
Yeah.
Write this there.
If you want to write us fan mail, you can write it there, and we won't read it like true celebrities.
If you want to call me stupid, you can write to Wout, but don't say my name, just use pronouns. So he thinks it's to him.
Oh.
Yeah, hate mails at Wout12345.
Love mails at soccerman575.
Actually, I have a 6 on Twitter, unfortunately. So yeah, that won't work.
Yeah. The 12345 account is already taken.
We will make sure to link Wout's Twitter so you can actually use the right one.
What?
If you want to write hate mails.
I wonder if Twitter will ever pull a Mojang and get rid of the inactive accounts. They're supposed to do it every 6 months or something. Like if you're going for 6 months, they just get rid of it. But
with Mojang made more sense because they have premium accounts and demos accounts really.
Yeah.
But yeah, on Twitter is different, so I don't know. Oh well. Maybe for now, I guess I'm good. I log into Twitter multiple times a day, so.
Well, apparently GDC is just now over, and some of the Minecraft devs are Looking forward to getting back to Minecraft.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I just saw a new tweet from Sarge where he says they're flying back to Sweden.
Enemy,
now,
you're
and-
really active on Twitter.
Yeah. What's up with you?
I'm active
I
on
don't know,
Twitter
like,
too.
when we're recording, I cannot play Minecraft because then my voice will go shit. So
Oh yeah, right. And we can't download Minecraft chunks. He can however download tweets.
No, his download is fine. His upload, that's the problem.
yeah,
Man-
my upload is a problem.
Enemy can't upload his
His
very
movements.
complex movements within the game to the server.
But
But he
his
can
bot
upload.
is online. So,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to stress it too much.
Alright, that makes total sense.
Need the gold, you know.
I think there was something else this week I also talk about. I'm not entirely sure. Quick check.
Yeah,
Which
this week I
one?
kind of forgot to write stuff down, so probably things from earlier this week I totally forgot. Wasn't there like some video by Sark that I wanted to talk about? Anyone remember?
Custom capes?
No, the one before that, the doors.
Oh, doors.
see that one?
Yeah? Yeah, I saw it. But to be honest, I
Uh,
wasn't that impressed, but you talk about it.
Yeah, it's basically a quote unquote realistic doors where he has 3 high doors that actually like swing open, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
like,
the
yeah.
correct verb.
Wasn't that a mod?
No, it's
No. It's
I think it's like
the texture pack.
custom block models,
Yeah.
and they're on an armor stand. The armor stand gets rotated, but actually it looks kind of really good. Yes.
That would be kind of cool.
So yeah, you can do that. I guess you can also do it with normal doors, but then you will have very, very tiny doors.
no, the point is that that you have the cool animation. So
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, have you seen Mr. Makistan's Transformers? I think we shouldn't be if you're amazed by rotating 2 armor stands simultaneously. I think you should watch this video and rethink that, because I don't even wrote a filter for that kind of stuff. But I guess we may talk about
yeah,
it.
it's
later.
amazing. You can rotate.
I'm not
those
saying
doors,
sucker
it's-
stupid or anything, but it's just saying that this.
No,
achievement
I
in
think it's
particular is
amazing.
not-
It's so special. You can
It's
move
just-
move those blocks, and it's whoa.
But I think it's just another big point where I'm seeing where people started doing more with custom block models and all resource packs.
Today I tried. I was looking, and I don't know how I came up with it. How I found
think-
it, but a texture pack with resource pack with custom block models, so everything looks 3D. And I tested 2 of them. Both of them, everything was black and pink, black and purple. It didn't work.
Yay for missing textures. I have that
Yeah.
problem with the 3D pack that I play with. Like I have Faithful 3D or something like that is what it's called. And
I tried
activator rails mess up with me for some reason.
this 3D pack by Just by the End and 3D models. One from Reddit. It's models from lots of people, and it's compiled by Big And yeah, both of them were not really working. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, if the version is not working.
We could talk
Um,
about how Minecraft has 18% less playing time than League of Legends. It's
Oh,
mildly
no.
saddening.
You're not the most popular game. No.
We're
League
not
of
even
Legends
close.
is-
We're number 7 or 8.
Hmm.
We are number 8.
Team Fortress
For
2 now?
playing time or what?
Yeah, playing time. Percentage
Yeah.
of playing time.
When is EnemyNet finished?
I'm not sure. In the
Oh.
working.
Okay.
When I come up with better email names, I don't know.
And when that is finished, anime will take over the world and make sure that
No,
Minecraft gets
we'll
number
get the
1.
playing time up.
Okay.
What is always on?
Probably when I get the pie, I will go a bit more in that direction.
Alright.
I
There was
want
also a
some
video
candy.
list. What?
Want some candy.
Tucker wants candy. Tucker is not working hard in
Yes.
favor of your application. You have to work harder, pal.
Uh-oh.
Just say the words.
I don't
Don't
know.
eat candy.
What?
Tucker, you need to say
I missed it. No.
You're here for the appeal to the Americans, the appeal to the children, to the parents, and the parents are gonna hate you for telling their children to eat candy. You know. You're
Well,
here
I
for the
mean,
public
Yeah, but
if
the
they
relations.
just want to eat candy, am I
You're
to
only
stop
missing the
them?
creepy van.
Soccer, look, we're not here for your professional opinion or about programming multi-threading. We're here for PR, okay? So you make sure nothing controversial is ever said. Like racial politics of the US.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't work
Hey, a
out.
dyslexic man walks into a bra.
What? That worked out very well. Okay, so now what are we going to talk about?
Any more news or?
Actually, there was a video by damn, what's his name? Resident Jazz, of course. I ran out of steak. I hate this.
What about
the-
Sethling's gigantic pickaxe?
Oh,
I
the-
did not see that, but I guess we can first talk about
Game of Life.
Yeah, the Game of Life. Because it's I thought we should talk about it because it's the fastest one I've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
I had to
Everyone is doing Game of Life now.
Yeah, I
yes,
had to
again.
quickly watch through it because it was right before the podcast, but it looks like he's doing one cycle every tick, which is pretty good. But it's also pretty damn laggy.
I
Yeah.
really like how he didn't know how many ticks there is in a second.
Okay. Well, so that's, yeah, for the viewers, that's 20 times a second.
Yeah, he wasn't sure if it's 10 or 20, but
Yeah.
Conways Game of Life.
Yeah, I guess right before we went out, I mentioned that it runs at maximum tick speed, well, maximum speed, which is one cycle a second, which is pretty good. Not a second, damn it, one cycle a tick, of course. So that's 20 times a second, which is pretty good. And like most of the stuff like Gosper, Gun still works at that speed, but once you get into more complex structures, it will start lagging out the machine quite heavily. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Anyone still has to say something about it?
I really like how he after 3-4 minutes he noticed that he didn't explain what Conway's Game of Life is.
Well, I had to watch skip through it, as I said. So yeah. Oh, well, I said it offline. So yeah, I skipped through it for the viewers because of the podcast, which was happening like 5 minutes later. Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some candy really quick.
All right.
How fast was Adrian's spawn?
To
Anyone
be
know?
honest, I didn't follow up on it that well, but I'm pretty sure it was a lot slower because he used stuff. I remember he loves to use falling sand clocks because he says they're more reliable, and that's definitely a point. But I
Yes,
personally don't
no.
really care much about. Yeah, they just like I guess they work well. The reason he says they're reliable is because, as far as I know, they are handle chunk unloading very well, because they're just entities. And yeah, they will just start falling again once you.
They are
reload.
harder to make because you have to specify all that falling sand stuff, and
Yeah, they are
I
not
don't know.
very not very elegant either. So, I mean, they work, but I personally wouldn't use them. I also have never had problems with stuff like whenever I use clocks, they are always. I turn them off when I don't use them, so I never have problems with clocks getting stuck in unloaded chunks because either they're running in spawn chunks where they're always loaded and always doing important stuff, or they're running like in another part of my test world or something where I only need them for a specific purpose, and afterwards I have to shut them off and then I leave so I don't notice. And yes, Soccer, we are recording because I just asked that, but okay.
I didn't want to ask.
What?
I didn't
Because
want
it's
to ask it
candy.
out loud. No, it's not candy. I got bacon and candy. It's
Oh, Chris.
amazing.
I think I'm actually gonna do
Bacon
some
candy.
survival during the podcast. Well, why did I say that out loud? Well, so yeah. I think there was also one video I want to mention. But yeah, Mr. Makistan hits 10,000 subscribers, and I'm totally amazed because, yeah, he is part of the community, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about him. But yeah, he was, I think, about like 1 or 2K in the summer when I first met him, and now he is, yeah, like really far, you could say.
How much does he have now?
10,000. So yeah, that's mostly because of some videos like Transformers, Spider-Man, some other stuff he has been making in the past couple of months, which kind of got viral within the community, one time after the other. But in the technical community, of course, like
Yeah.
they like twice the amount of subscribers or something has watched the video, so that's a lot.
Yeah, like the Transformers one was pretty popular. I think it has like almost 50,000 or something.
Yeah. So
Compared to the one you were in with like 3,000.
it's just Command King. I don't expect to be famous from it. I just like doing the challenges.
Yeah, no.
Well, so yeah, that's really just all I had to mention. And congratulations, Maki. Rats. Alright.
Yeah, I guess we switch to what we did this week. I get then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One word
unless someone
failed.
still has news.
We failed a lot. Yes.
Right. So
I don't know if you can see it in background footage, but yeah, we failed.
The
what?
sugarcane farm? Or what?
Yes.
Yes. Basically,
Ah.
it's the source of all evil. Like,
that's very clear.
there's a problem with like updating. So when we had it on our test world, we had the problem that sheep spawned in it, like because there's no other grass around on the test server, and the sheep ate the grass which the sugarcane was on, and that updated the water and messed up all the water, which in turn would mess up the rails for the hopper mine carts that are collecting our sugarcane. So it basically breaks, which is bad. So,
No.
so we decided to build it out of sand because then we will never get that problem. We later on realized that we're building in deep ocean biome, but
That's not
just,
our issue.
that's just fail on our part. Then we had multiple times the problem where we in accident updated the water like by hand and had to rebuild it like 3 or 4 times and like just for one layer, which is 30 by 30 or something like that. And we had that problem a lot because we have the floor all around glowstone, so nothing will spawn there. And like the ice melted before we could place the carpet on top, which is there, so slimes don't fall in and mess with our hopper mine carts below. So there's basically the problem is like you have to place all 4 blocks around the water or the ice and the carpet on top, which then you cannot see if it's ice or water anymore. Basically, if it melts and then you update something, basically all the sand will fall down because the rails it's on will be destroyed by the water that's updated, and everything will fall down and you have a huge mess. And then we had the problem where we built the second floor and accidentally it had some water dripping down, which broke the carpet on like the outermost blocks of the lower layer and updated all the water there and the sand and the whole thing failed again. And then we had the problem where an Enderman came and stole one of our sand, which of course is next to the water because every sand block is, otherwise you couldn't plant sugarcane on it. Which in turn updated the water again and killed the whole thing again.
And then we were going to, and we thought, let's do ghost dirt because I don't think they can pick it up. So we did that for one layer, and then the other layer, the second layer that was done, there was no, we did the first layer with ghost dirt. The second layer, it was still sand. So we thought, okay, let's remove the sand, and water dripped down, and the first layer got removed again.
The idea behind the course that was Enderman usually only can pick up stuff that also generates with the world, so they don't pick up blocks that are placed by players usually. So no like normal blocks that players put there, or like houses or something. So I thought, yeah, like course is like not something you get from world generation, but of course I'm wrong at that point.
Yeah,
You can get it from like Taiga.
Yeah,
Mega
Tiger.
Yeah,
Tiger. We really realized it later on when.
You can also get it actually from Savannah.
Actually, really?
Yeah, Savannah
like,
Hills.
I'm not exploring a lot, so I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, I was also surprised, but like they use it for different biomes.
So it was like, yay, this is the one point where course is actually useful for a farm. But yeah, it's not, so still have that problem. And I think we can fix it by just like putting blocks all around because they have to have like access from the side to the block. Like they cannot just take a block out of the middle somewhere. I think.
Yes, but you gotta watch out with that because they can grab it through corners. I already had Enderman do that.
Okay.
Or just make everything spawn proof. We don't have any Endermen.
Oh, of course, and then just make everything teleport proof. Just have a like
Yeah,
32
just put water all
block.
around, update everything.
Yeah,
once again.
32 block moat around your entire farm.
Like, I think last week we mentioned it that we wanted to break out the bedrock for it, and yeah, like you saw the bedrock breaking in the background footage as well. Like that took forever, basically, and then like building up the pattern for the sugarcane. I think we read that like 3 times because Niels wanted to move it. Even though
It was not good. We had to move it 1 block, and then we found out it was mirrored, and yeah.
Yeah, the reason why we moved it 1 block is when we move it 1 block, we have the butt that breaks our sugarcane is in a spot where there's ice below, so we don't lose that 1 piston that actually could break sugarcane. So yeah, we moved the whole thing 1 over, and yeah, like I think we rebuilt the lower layer like 7 or 8 times by now.
Yes, you have to do it 1 more time.
Yeah, and they're still not working, so we came to the conclusion we just build everything else and then start from top. So if it's working on top, it won't break anything below because we don't have that yet.
Mm-hmm.
And with our in total 16 layers, I think we have like 4 built, not done where anything is in place.
Yeah.
But built.
No, wait. We have the rails of 5 layers, but
yeah,
the top one we were building just before.
And this thing is like eating resources like mad.
Like, the enemy crafted 10 stacks of it. Okay, that should last about. We need about 7.5 stacks per layer. Really,
we're gonna have problems getting all the cobblestone. That's what you're gonna have problems with eventually.
Well, no, we should have enough cobblestone from our witch perimeter left, but it's just annoying because you like craft forever and then you come back and it's like we're out of this again. like every single layer you're out.
Out of bacon. Speaking of,
everything is bacon.
But yeah, when it's done, it will be awesome.
Yeah, it will be fast enough so enemy can keep trading, hopefully.
Also, like during this week, we figured out ways to do it where it's one layer lower per slice per layer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only 9 blocks high instead of 10. In which case you could put in 3 more layers per tower. Like
yeah,
if you want to build,
enemy
to build
says
height.
Good, so we didn't do that.
But since we're not building to build height and we don't want to worry about potential problems that would come with that.
It's a bit more building stuff because you power the rails and then
you power the rails. So you don't have the redstone blocks on the floor, which would in turn we have a air block layer between our slices because if you don't have that one, the redstone blocks for the rails would also power the redstone dust, which butts the pistons below, would permanently power that, and then the butt wouldn't work anymore. Or wouldn't reset ever. That's why we have that air block layer, but you could remove the redstone blocks and just butt the rails. The problem with that is if you update the rails, the water will update, and that will turn break the rails, and everything will fail again. So yeah, kind of didn't do that. And since we're not building it to build height, it doesn't matter really. We're gonna do 8 layers anyway if it's 9 or 10 high. So, But with the 9 high thing, you could in theory get 896 stacks an hour per tower, which would be totally crazy, and no one would ever need that, but you could, compared to the 800 stacks you would get with the 10 high thing.
We're also gonna have bandwidth problems with that. Let's figure out how we're gonna put those in the chest.
Well, the funny thing about that is if you don't pick up the sugarcane fast enough, you can actually kill yourself with that. So, death by sugarcane.
Sounds very dangerous.
Yeah, the
No,
problem
I
we
would
have
want
is
to-
we have to make a new storage because this will produce about 10 double chests an hour, and
In like hours, not the build height thing. The build height
Y'all are-
thing is way more crazy.
Oh man, y'all are going to end up where you're gonna have to you're gonna have to go to our fancy wood farm, and we're going to have to just harvest that for like 2 hours, and then we'll have enough chests, like ever.
And the
Well,
wood
no,
farm is way too fast.
actually we have like 5 double chests of logs just from breaking all the bedrock with the stupid trees because we couldn't do it any other way.
That's not enough.
That probably will last for a bit.
At least
Probably
enough for
not.
all the business we need.
The way that you guys build friggin' storage rooms, it's not long enough. Not enough. But you'll make like a 4 million item storage system for the wood farm or something?
No,
Three
it's
and a
only
half,
3
something?
million.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's only
My
3?
bad.
Oh, it was 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5.
Oh, only 3.5 million. My bad. My
It's
calculations
probably-
were off by half
I don't know
million.
if that's with the hoppers included or.
I don't
Because
know.
hoppers.
You basically came up with that thing, right?
Yeah.
I think it was
yeah.
like 3.3 without the hoppers, so it's probably.
By the way,
Yeah.
even with my machine, I'm only getting 80 something frames per second at the storage room.
I think it's about time to wrap it up.
Well, what did Wout do this
I don't
week?
wrap it up. What?
You
Up with
totally
me.
left out Wout. What did you do all week?
all week I was thinking about what soccer would have done this week. No, actually,
What
I
I
didn't.
did this week was play CS:GO, but that's not what this is about. Oh, I'm
This time
failing
on the CS:GO
Spanish.
podcast, Soccer talks about his experiences
And cooking.
and cooking.
We could talk about the fact that I'm failing Spanish. Sure, that's a fun topic.
Very interesting. But you just
Yeah.
translated free very well to Spanish, but it was actually Dutch. But yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's this thing called work, and I'm really bad at doing my work, so my teachers give me bad grades. So yeah, yeah.
The world
My
is so
parents yelled
simple.
at me a lot about it. Fun week, you know.
Anything Minecraft related though?
Spanish.
Well, other than net neutrality making it easier to make better servers,
What, really?
and the fact, well, you'll get with net neutral. I don't know if that's going on in other countries, but in America,
Oh, really?
the FCC is supposedly
Yeah, I know
controlling
about
it.
the whole story.
Hey,
but-
hey, soccer. You already have that.
Yes, but that's like I never knew it. Like, oh, now server hosts are charging you at less rates or what?
Well, it would make it easier for like clients to connect, so you could actually provide optimizations in the way that your network's working. If
Why would
they
it
all
do
had
that?
similar bandwidths.
Well, oh, okay then. Like, as far as I know, the biggest thing which was being done was just some companies being bribed basically to pay higher prices, like big businesses like Netflix.
Yeah.
To
Netflix was saying that during peak hours they were paying companies to where they could get better bandwidth rates.
well, as far as I know, it's not just like better. It's more like, hey, we're giving you worse until you pay us because you actually have money for it, and it's economically
Yeah.
viable for you to spend the money on getting a decent bandwidth.
I think they also have somebody that's making different plans that would get rid of that because it's already passed, but
Yeah, like
don't know.
that's pure bribery from the cable company. So of course that shouldn't be happening. Yeah, but that's not neutrality, I guess. Yeah, what did I do this week? I'm not sure.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Well, I
Oh.
spent a fair bit of time actually working on some RL project, which is now almost done. So that will means for one course, I should be good for like a week or 2, 3-ish, I guess. Yeah, a couple of weeks. But from another course, we got an assignment yesterday, so yeah, I guess I can get right to that. But I'm also doing some stuff in Minecraft, but just college is actually quite busy this semester. Way more than last semester, unfortunately. But on Minecraft, yeah. But I mean, at Easter I won't have maths anymore to the end of the year, so that will be a bit easier.
Sounds like
that's my
fun.
favorite class.
Yeah, it's actually alright. It's definitely one of my more favorite classes. But then again, it does take time. So yeah. It means I have to study less. Well, it's not much. Actually, it's a very easy course, but I guess this isn't the Wout first college experiences podcast. So
I thought it was about cooking, but okay.
Cooking
maybe it
with
is.
Wout's
Maybe it
math
isn't.
class.
Oh my god, that would be really weird. So yeah, what did I do this week? I wrote a filter, did I? Or no? Yeah, I did. I wrote filtered yesterday and today for
did that
Mackie
too.
because he requested it, and it has something to do with animating armor stands. Because he, if you know him, he has done some stuff on that, like transformers, and he would like to make it easier because he doesn't like placing tons of command blocks. And going further through it, I can realize that it's not actually doing that much stuff, which should be hard. But yeah, I think I'm gonna publish it anyway with a bit of a disclaimer as to why it's not that useful. And I plan to record that tonight or tomorrow or something. And also, what I plan to record at the same time will be a concept I've made with its command block concept, and I haven't done one of those either like ever or in a while. I mean, I've built a machine which generates prime numbers using command blocks, but like this is more practical. Still not like a real concept like custom capes or something, but something which is like affects the Minecraft world more than just putting scrap primes in a scoreboard.
Yeah, but everyone needs that. Yeah.
Well, I did that for as a programming challenge, and
Yeah.
like it was also you done using a CBP, I think. Yeah, command block parser made by Wooby. Because during the stream he asked if people could test it, and I was like basically the only person it seemed to was trying to comprehend all of the stuff he was demonstrating. So I was like, well, gets responsibilities on me. And yeah, I was like, well, this is an interesting thing to try. We can do it with CBP and see how it goes. So, and I also had some experience with that. But yeah, this is not done with CBP. In fact, it's really simple command blocks. But I think it's really cool that it works. It's just simple. So I'm gonna make a video about that and also edit it and stuff by tomorrow, or on tomorrow, of course. And I hope then one tomorrow and next week I will be able to release both of those videos, like one this week, one next week. I'm getting a bit in the groove for YouTube again, I think you could say. And apart from that, though, I don't think I've really done much. I'm thinking right now, but I can't really think of anything. Yeah, well, in that case, I guess that's gonna be it. Anyone still has to say something?
Do the outro.
The outro of this
Outro.
week. Wait, you don't know the outro?
Outro.
I don't think you know the outro.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you failed. Yeah.
No.
This is the best
You're
outro
out.
ever.
You're
out.
Channel.
And you're Wout. Oh my god, that's so weird. I'm you. But yeah, so I'm very disappointed in the viewers. Because we still don't have an answer to the important question, which is from what games are the two quotes which you mentioned in the previous podcasts. First quote was something about missile ponies, and the second quote was like a real one, consisting out of multiple sentences. So I'm not gonna do that one again. But yeah, we still don't have response on that, and you guys are very disappointing.
I guess we should try something easier.
Well,
How about leave us feedback on if you like soccer or not?
No,
Yes.
don't do that. You won't like me and I'll be sad.
If you like
don't
him,
have to read
press the
it.
like button, and if you don't like him, also press the like button.
yes, that will be a very clear way, and soccer will be
If
stressed
your
out.
feelings a bit more complicated, please leave a comment.
And if you're soccer, dislike. No.
You want to
Hey,
vote,
guys.
press the like button and then type a comment.
If you like soccer, type a comment and answer the question from last week. If you don't like soccer,
Oh, yeah.
type a
Good
comment
idea.
and answer the question from the week before. That way we get more answers. Yay.
And if there are
Yay.
no show notes, complain to our Twitter for this time. Why not?
Yeah, well, this week actually we
TRQ
worked quite hard,
podcast.
in my opinion. Like,
It wasn't
at least
much
I worked quite
news.
hard. I mean, no, I didn't work really hard, but like I worked. No, normally I'm lazy, and this week I did
I
a bit of
recorded
work.
3.5 hours of background footage, and it's all failing off the sugarcane farm, so...
So you guys can enjoy it as well.
Yeah, nice. So I guess we still need a quote though for this week. So I
No,
guess something
but-
easier.
We don't
can
need
take vote.
Yeah,
But it can be easier.
Remember the times when you don't have a quote?
Yeah, and everything went wrong and the world died.
Okay, that's a quote.
That's a
Probably.
quote.
Someone
No,
said
no,
something
I
like
don't
that,
think so.
probably.
Once upon a time, never documented in history.
Yeah,
2000 years
once
ago.
upon a time, that's... Yeah.
Earlier this
Soccer
week,
is like
I
life
said
or death,
something.
only more important.
I said something and Niels was like, yeah, you should have recorded that. It was a really good quote, but I don't even remember what it was now.
Oh well.
Niels, do you remember?
Okay, Google. Inspirational quotes.
Why do you remember that? But,
I don't know. Like, I have no clue what it was. Whatever.
Now I want to know. Damn.
I think this is becoming the best outro ever.
Yeah.
It is during
Yeah.
our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light.
God damn it, enemy.
Wait, I actually know a quote which I really hope someone will know. Well,
Okay.
it's not from some obscure game. It's from an animated series. If you know me, you probably can already guess from which one it is. But if you know it, I guess as a bit of a harder one, you also have to say what episode it is or what character says it or something, because else you can just guess, because there are many animated series I talk about.
Hello, Internet animated.
Hello, Internet animated. Thanks.
Hentai doesn't count.
Wow, dang. There goes all my quotes.
Sorry, continue.
I'm trying to find it.
Wow.
He's taking too
Wow.
long. It's already 1 hour and 40 minutes
It went
almost.
from I'm Wout and we're out to taking 10 minutes to find a quote. Seriously, how hard is it to say, okay, bye guys?
It's not that hard, but the thing is that
Yeah, let's just say bye.
I'm gonna go for the quote. Okay, I think I got it.
No, the quote is for next week. So you haven't...
The true mind can weather all the lies and illusions without being lost. The true heart can tough the poison of hatred without being harmed. Since beginningless time, darkness thrives in the void, but always yields to purifying light. That's the quote. Yeah, but I guess that will be it. If you know this series and either the character or the episodes where they came from, let us know.
See ya next week.
Bye.
Hey guys.